Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another video with me, Umberrays, and today we are talking about the 1.5 anniversary live stream on the JP side, summary of information, and starting off, we have this big question of who is this? Related to FF7? Seems to be a mystery. There's a small amount of plexiglass blocking it. And I don't know who could possibly be, or who she is, what the information is. I mean, probably if you saw the thumbnail, I probably posted something on there of who this actually is. I'm drawing this out. Why it is... Okay, I actually timed this very, very poorly, and it was meant to be much more clever and much more, we wasted some time. Let's figure out who it is. It is Glassy's voice actress. Congratulations to Cabbage out there, another fellow YouTuber who called this one. Congratulations, Cabbage. Round of applause for you. I'll give you a shout out right here in my video. I was the one who ended up saying, hey, guess what? It's going to be Jaden, who's going to be our 1.5 anniversary character. And I feel like I was close. You know, they're both from Wotv. Anyway, regardless of accuracy aside, we do have the announcement today of all of the stuff from the 1.5 anniversary. And with enough faffing about, we're going to do the recap for real this time. All right, so here was basically on the JP live stream. We ended up getting our first look, and this was teased very early on that there was a mystery voice actor. And you know what? It's been 1 year since that voting campaign happened on the JP side, and we were all wondering, where's Glassy? What's happening? Why is she not shown up yet? Well, turns out that they were putting a lot of effort into her. At least that's kind of what we were finding out. So we're just gonna hit this at 1.7 times 5 speed because it is kind of a long live stream. But yeah, Glassy was announced tonight as being a first to get, she ended up getting her alternate version. And her alternate version is a magical-based DPS character, by the looks of it, who can take advantage of when specifically... there she is. We'll freeze on this frame for a second. That will get me back on track. This is Glassy, the what is it again? What did they end up calling her? I mean, she's Dress Up Glassy. That's her title. But she ended up being... what is it? There's a much better name. Yes, it's her main job is titled Silver Wolf Princess. And I have to say, I really like the design of her. I mean, it still very much harkens back to her original design, the colors and everything, the embroidery and everything. Like, they did a nice job designing this character. And from what I heard on the live stream, basically they kind of wanted her to be a little bit more like an idol, a little bit more of that kind of look. So that's why their artwork doesn't feature a weapon, which is an interesting design for sure. I mean, it's like, that special anniversary feeling. And I gotta say, she looks pretty classy, The design of the outfit is really nice. I think it's, mostly appropriate for going into battle. But it feels very much like a Glassy outfit, It feels like her other costume. So I have to say that I'm very much in favor of this. As you know, last year there was the voting campaign and Glassy ended up with first place and got, now she's finally getting her reward also. So yes, her primary job is a brand new one, and as soon as my mouse stops faffing about, we'll talk a little bit about this character. May 14th at 3 p.m. she'll be coming to the game. She is a Fire Elemental Mace user. So she will be competing for equipment with Ildira, as well as other, mace users. Secondary job is going to be Scholar, and third job will end up being White Mage. Immediate impressions of this means that, first of all, she's in an element where there aren't necessarily a ton of mages. There is Summer Ketone and there is Rain, so there is the potential that we could see end up seeing a good fire elemental mage team here. Noting the jobs, however, Silver Wolf Princess is kind of, it's new, so we really want to get all the details about it before we fully evaluate it. But Scholar is a mage type that is very good against physical units, and White Mage is a lot of support. So I'm assuming that Glassy will be mostly a good against physical units mage. We have two types of mages. Really, we have ones that are good against magic users, and we have ones that are good against physical users. Well, I guess there's a third type, which is Dark Witch Helena, which is everything. But it's pretty interesting to see this new unit here, and there was something else I wanted to say about it really quickly. Yes, the 100 cost thing. That's kind of going to be maybe a point of people are a little bit nervous who didn't watch the live stream and haven't read information. Basically, going forward from this point on the JP side, and I assume Global will probably follow this fairly shortly, but this is a JP live stream, so don't ask if we know about the Global side. But anyway, basically going forward, all 100 cost units will be single cost for Lapis. I'm not entirely sure about drop rates at this point. I don't remember hearing about that on the live stream, and I would assume that they will be the same drop rates. Up drop rate on their original banner, and then after that, half the rate of other units. They are planning, it should be noted that on the live stream, they also were talking about the elemental imbalance in this game, and the fact that basically right now, Dark is one of the, if not the strongest elements, and they're going to be trying to rebalance that by releasing more 100 cost units. It's just that their shard cost won't be as bad as it previously was with units like Gilgamesh or Ruined Stern, for example. And also at this time, there is no plan to retroactively change older units. Those units will still have double costs, but they're old units, so who cares, right? Okay, that's a bad thing to say, because obviously some people care about it, but it is good going forward that they are going to be trying to rebalance other elements by giving them some 100 cost units to essentially push those elements into being much stronger. It'll be interesting to see the next few months. That means that elements like fire, wind, possibly ice, although I don't think ice is that weak right now, Earth, for example, I would imagine that all of these elements will be getting more, will be the first to get 100 cost units, and will do particularly very well with them. So I am excited, to say the least, that they will be rebalancing elements, and it kind of starts here with Fire Element getting a really powerful mage, a 100 cost unit that will be very strong. Alright, we're just kind of waiting for... There's a lot of talking there, but it was kind of hoping and holding out for the fact that we were going to get into the abilities. Here we are. So first of all, we're going to pause right here because I want to note something. Her Limit Burst actually features Venera and Little Leela. Now, this might be a little bit weird for people to see this. Why are they in her Limit Burst? They are in her Limit Burst because they were the second and third place for the popularity contest on the JP side. That's why they featured in the Limit Burst. Now, the Limit Burst itself is a large magic damage dealing attack that also has an AP recovery rate for herself for 3 turns. Now, the 3 turns, they are regenerating her for 10% AP each turn. So this is really interesting. We have a mage character that already has more AP to start, but has AP regeneration on her Limit Burst. Depending on what the cost of the Limit Burst is, could be very powerful for them. Yeah, that is interesting. It is also an AoE attack, so you should be able to get pretty good value out of that. All right, skipping a little bit ahead here. A little bit ahead. All right, so this is a look at her abilities. There's a couple of abilities here to note. One with a large damage dealing that is on a single target. This is the one on the far left side that also generates AP. The one on the far right top is a large AoE that also deals a large amount of damage. I'm just going to... It's really, really small one. Going to check the... yes. Sorry. Too much information to keep. So on the left-hand side, her large damage single attack target also has the benefit of dealing extra damage when a unit is asleep. And this is something to note about her main job, is that it is supposed to be a magic damage dealing class, obviously, but also targets when a unit is potentially afflicted with a status effect. I don't want to pair her with Agrius or someone like that. Or, wait, didn't Summer Ketone have a sleep status? Synergy. Anyway, large damage deal on her top right-hand one, as you can see. It is a big AoE. And does have mental penetration on it as well. And our last one on the bottom right is I do believe it is a triple hit ability for magic that deals medium damage. So it is, overall, it looks like she will be a very strong mage. I mean, obviously she's a 100 cost character. It'll be interesting to see where she fits in line with someone like Dark Witch Helena, who is basically the pedigree of mages right now, with her healing, her damage, and the fact that she has Arithmetician, which is one of the best classes, but this is a brand new class, so it's really hard to evaluate. White Mage, if she has raise spells, potentially, holy, good healing, then that's pretty good. Scholar is already a strong class for mages that was really good with Rule, and I don't think Globalers should be underestimating Rule. But last is to do with this, extra damage with Affliction. It'll be interesting to see if the rest of her kit does have any kind of Affliction or not, or whether she'll have to depend on another character, possibly making Summer Ketone more valuable when she comes back in, the summer. Should be noted at this point that I have no information on whether or not she is a limited time character. So, and I don't believe there was any indication that she was a limited time character, but in case something changes, I guess we'll wait and see. And talking about that, when Globalers, I know you guys are interested. I know there are plenty of you who like Glassy. There is no indication at this point, 100%, that Glassy will or will not come to Global. My expectation would be that when you guys hit your 1.5 anniversary, that you will get Zazen instead. Now, that doesn't mean that Glassy will never come to Global, but I do expect that you guys should probably taper your expectations. This was the result of the JP vote, and you guys voted for Zazen at yours. Now, I know that doesn't make everybody happy, and I'm sure that opinion will not sit well with some people, but honestly, at this point, it's still too early to tell. Dwan was announced as a global exclusive and then came to JP, but Fravia was also announced as a global exclusive and hasn't come to JP. Point is that even if it was said in the live stream that it was 100% a JP exclusive, this is Gumi, and I just don't trust them. So, my opinion, don't get too worked up about it right now. Don't let other people work you up about it. It's not worth it. And this company has been known to, not necessarily be the most accurate with its information drops. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Anyway, JP players will have a good chance to end up getting the new character because for 10 days, you will get 10 summons with a guaranteed UR on it, and Glassy is available in the pool. So best of luck to all the JP players, but of course, most luck going to me. Thank you. All right. Continuing into the 1.5 anniversary, there's going to be double shard drops for vision cards. There'll be up drop rates on all kinds of stuff. I don't think that there's anything really too much to talk about that. More interesting point was this, and for the events for the 1.5 anniversary. First of all, there is the Raid Boss Revival event. Now, this is not a raid feature. This is not an actual raid event. basically you will be able to go do multiplayer with these raid bosses for a limited time, May 14th to May 31st is the time period. They are divided into level 50 and level 100 quests, and you will be able to receive recipes for the armors from these previous raids. So a good opportunity for people to get potentially those without the hustle and bustle attributed with raids. In terms of the drop rates, no idea whether or not they will be super good or super bad. The first time they've done this, but in all honesty, I'm actually all for this if the drop rates are good, and I hope they do this more often in the future, because it's pretty cool that there's going to be 4 available. Alright, and very, very shortly in this video, if we skip ahead, there is also this, the announcement of another piece of content, which is the Phantom Lions Tower. Basically a brand new campaign held from May 24th to June 9th. It is similar to the White Porcelain Tower, in which powerful enemies from the story will appear. I think I heard mention of about 20 floors, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And there's nothing listed on Ultima as well, so keep that in mind going forward. But it is cool to see this, because it does mean there will be some challenge versions of old bosses from stories in a more difficult mode, and I was one of the people who complained about this earlier, so I'm definitely happy to see this kind of event coming up. Pretty darn cool. Alright, and besides Twitter campaigns and horribly colored hoodies, we do have a few other pieces of information. First of all, Rune Stern's EX is coming very shortly, and we'll take a look at that really quickly right here. Especially if I don't hit the wrong buttons. I hit all the wrong buttons. So Ruinstern's EX, his large AoE will end up getting a healing power down on it. Also for his self-buff ability will get AP cost down. So it will make his other abilities slightly cheaper. And his brand new EX ability is a single hit ability that is a barrier breaker. Honestly, not super excited about Rune Stern, given that Glassy has a new version coming at the same time, basically. But yeah, I mean, until I see the mods and the complete details on Wotv Cal, kind of hard to evaluate. And Rune Stern was already pretty good, so we'll have to wait and see how this ends up shaping up. All right. Now at this point, we get into really just what is coming in this month for the big update. First of all was the introduction of Soul Stars and Vision Stars implemented like this week on the JP side. It's a medal system that can be attained at the time of summoning, and basically it only appears on certain banners. It does not appear from free pulls or anything like that. And it will allow you to get shards of both vision cards and characters that are not limited or collaboration. So basically no seasonal characters and no Final Fantasy characters either. So there you go. They will be adjusting drop rates of a lot of different quests and stuff to be increased by about 2 to 3 times. So for instance, your elemental shard quests, your job hunting quests, nothing to do with story or anything like that. Even EXP, I think, is getting a boost. So there's a lot of different stuff that's just getting generally improved in terms of farming. All right. Exchange rates will also be relaxed. So, you know, you have the being able in the Mog shop, able to exchange certain items for other certain items. Those restrictions will be eased up a little bit going into the future. Daily quests are also getting generally improved on the JP side. I think it would... It's really, really late, but nice to hear that that is going to be happening. And yeah, continuing on in the month of May, there will also be armor training campaigns implemented to help increase the status and value of armor training, and UR characters from their specific selection quest will also be able to use in those selection quests. So for instance, if you're doing the Earth element, you can use Miraga on the Earth elemental ones. I think it's just a good way to help people get through those, and generally make it a little more palatable to players who don't have as much resources. Good for that. All right. Other than that, they also talk about for the month of June. I'm not going to fast forward to that into the video, just because it doesn't really matter that much for right now anyway. Basically, a lot of stuff to do with guilds, some UI, and specifically AI repair, UI repair, and a lot more to do with guilds in the month of June, especially indicating the collaborative guild battle where you and your guild will be ending up fighting the same enemy, but there wasn't any information and there was no graphic shown for it, so it isn't talking about. And then there's some more stuff into the month of July, but I don't know. There's already a deluge of information and stuff could change between now and then, so we'll kind of put a pin in that for now. So to recap, basically, excited to see that a new version of Glassy is coming to the game, and, you know, it's been an entire year, so I'm happy to see that that is finally happening. It's nice to hear that they're going to be rebalancing elements with 100 cost characters that are going to be cheaper, and that going forward, 100 cost characters will not be double lapis cost anymore. Good. Also should be said that in the stream, they said that there was going to be no 120 cost units. Take that with a giant grain of salt, because there could be 110, 130, 140, 150 cost units. But regardless, it doesn't seem like that's going to be an immediate thing in the future, so people don't have to worry about that. I'm excited for the anniversary events, just because the raid boss thing is a good opportunity for people who missed out on that, and potentially just might be a good way for people who didn't get stuff max. That is really... The Phantom Tower is... I've been waiting for a new Porcelain Tower kind of event, so that's great to see. Kind of wish that the old Porcelain Towers, people could have had another chance at those, but I guess not yet. Some good quality of life stuff for the month of May, but yeah, 100 free polls, and there are also, I guess I should fast forward, since Globalers, in about 3 months' time, when you hit your anniversary, you're probably going to see the same poll, or the same kind of benefits. There we are. So the stream poll, or the stream gifts for this time, were basically this times 1.5. So we ended up with 6,000 lapis, 15 rainbow rocks, stuff like that. So that's the gifts that JP players are getting in Globalers. Probably will be expecting the thing. All right. So I pretty much killed my voice between the live stream and recording this video. So let me know, are you excited for the 1.5 anniversary? Are you excited for, I guess, Globalers? Are you excited for Zazen, which I assume is definitely what you guys will be getting? And JP players are going to get Glassy for the time being, and, maybe at some point in the future we'll switch. But until then, cheers to a 1.5 anniversary that actually looks fairly decent. It could have been better. We could have got like 10,000 lapis. 60,000 lapis, or 150,000 lapis, dreamer stuff. Oh yeah, thanks to anyone in the comments who wishes me good luck getting Glassy. Here's hoping. Thanks for watching, take care, see you in the next video.